from the past.
And the Bulleen Boomers salute for the first time in their history.
To the present.
Gary, skip it up, because she'd get another one. Oh, Maddie Gary has had a great first half.
And into the future. The new Deakin Melbourne Boomers are here. And it's time to bring the boom.
Stop it! Ezzy can do no wrong at the SPC.
We're Australia's longest running professional women's sporting team.
Lost control again. Atkins, what can she do? The input denied by Kayla George.
36 years of pride, passion,
Gets it to goal! Boomers in front of the state flag.
and excitement. And this is our town. Boom Town.
Today. Garrick steps back, knocks down the three.
We're your team, Melbourne. And it's time to bring the boom.
Hello and welcome to our Deakin Melbourne Boomers season launch for 2020. It's a season launch like no other, for a season like no other. My name's Jason Bennett. I've got the pleasure of being your master of ceremonies for this very special function. And on behalf of the board of the Deakin Melbourne Boomers, General Manager Christy Collier and Head Coach Guy Malloy, we're delighted to have you with us to celebrate the beginning of the next chapter in the story of the Deakin Melbourne Boomers. We're very fortunate and very grateful to have such a broad and loyal group of sponsors supporting the club, and we're delighted to have many of them joining us here in our virtual function room. And we'd like to extend our warmest welcome and our deepest thanks to each and every one of you. It's great to have a number of representatives from our naming rights sponsor, Deakin University, with us for this function, led by Vice-Chancellor Ian Martin. Welcome to you, Ian, and thanks to you and your team for your ongoing support of the Boomers. We're also joined by the Victorian Minister for Sport, Martin Pakula. Great to have you with us, Martin, as well. To our player families who are joining us from both here and abroad, thank you for your understanding and your support. To our wonderful fans, thank you all for your generous support of the Deakin Melbourne Boomers. We look forward to you all joining us on the journey once again this season. It promises to be a lot of fun as we launch the WNBL season, and we couldn't do it without you. Well, as I mentioned earlier, this coming season is going to be like no other. The entire competition will be played in far north Queensland, with all the games to be shared between Townsville, Cairns and Mackay. Now, each club will play 14 regular season matches in an action-packed month-long campaign, which tips off this Wednesday night when Adelaide face reigning premiers Canberra in the season opener. Now, for our Boomers, well, they opened their campaign Thursday night. They face the Sydney University Flames in Townsville from 7 p.m. Eastern. And the great news is that all 60 games in this WNBL season will be live on Kayo, with Fox Sports airing 4 games a week, in the ABC telecasting the 5 p.m. Saturday and 3 p.m. Sunday matches. Tonight we're going to meet the Boomers squad for the coming season. We'll hear from Coach Guy Malloy and our captains Maddie Garrick and Kayla George. But first, it's time for our Welcome to Country, and here's Dr. Andrew Peters.
Hi everyone, Andrew Peters here, Yorta Yorta Yarra Yarra man. It's my great pleasure to be part of your season launch today. Unfortunately, due to COVID, of course, we're all separated and you guys are up there. I just wanted to sort of open with a little bit of knowledge about acknowledgement versus welcome. So I'm doing an acknowledgement to country for you today. A welcome to country, of course, would be performed by a local elder. Yeah, that's why. And of course, I'm down here in Melbourne, so it wouldn't be appropriate for me at all to do any kind of welcome, and particularly a specific welcome to country on someone else's land. So I'm just performing an acknowledgement to country to sort of capture, I guess, the essence of what a welcome would do, and help continue the journey that we've started down this path together. One of the most important things, as I think I've mentioned to you about Aboriginal culture, is the notion of connection, and I think for any sporting team it's a really, really important one. So hopefully you guys are able to establish that up there and maintain your connections not only to each other but to the outside world, to everything that's going on around you in your lives too. That'll help you sort of find that sense of real connection, I guess, that's such an important part of Aboriginal culture. As I say to many people, there are elements of Aboriginal culture that exist in our daily lives all around us today, no matter how we look at the world, and I think connection is a really important one to consider and to remember. It helps us also to connect with each other, but to connect to this history and culture that we're talking about that's so important to Australia today. Up there, of course, in your hub and away from your families and everyone for an extended period during your season, the notion of resilience is going to be really important. And again, that relates to other aspects of Aboriginal culture. My mum, the late Auntie Dot Peters, was very big on establishing what she saw as the core principles of Aboriginal culture, and that be respect, caring and sharing. So hopefully you guys can maintain that up there, respect each other, care for each other, share what you have, maintain those connections, and you'll find that resilience will come to the fore and help you get through the season as you go along. So again, apologies for the shabby look. I'm on a long service leave, and during COVID lockdown I've decided not to shave because I hate it, and now this beard's getting a little annoying itself, although my wife likes it, so it's staying on a bit longer than I would have hoped. So I'll leave it there for you. Good luck for the season. I'd like to respectfully acknowledge the Wulgarakaba, I hope I pronounced that right, and the Bundle people from up there, the land on which you're on near Townsville. Acknowledge their ancestors past and present, and hope that the spirits of the land are with you, with all of the teams, but specifically, of course, with Melbourne as you're up there fighting away. So good luck for the season, girls. Good luck, everyone. I hope it all goes well. Thanks for the opportunity, and I look forward to seeing you all again when you return with the Premiership Cup.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, our Boomers squad has spent the past couple of weeks in quarantine in Brisbane, where they've been able to train, work out and scrimmage against the other Victorian teams in what has effectively turned out to be a pre-season boot camp. And as I mentioned earlier, we begin our new campaign so thankful for the ongoing support of our major partner, Deakin University. And to formally say a few welcoming words on behalf of Deakin as we prepare to tip off the new season, here's the Vice-Chancellor of Deakin University, Ian Martin.
Hello, I'm Ian Martin, Vice-Chancellor of Deakin University. On behalf of Deakin and its community, I'd like to extend my best wishes to the Deakin Melbourne Boomers for the 2020 WNBL season. At Deakin, we are proud of our long-standing association with the Boomers, which began way back in 2014. Deakin is one of the top 10 universities in the world for sport and ranked number 1 in Australia for sports science. Since our founding in 1974, we've valued the important contribution of sport in Australian society. Sport has a way of uniting our communities, or at times dividing them in friendly rivalry. It's a human endeavour that encourages us to work harder, to push our bodies and minds, expand our horizons, and to deliver and achieve our best. At Deakin, we also have a deep commitment to women in sport, on and off the court. As we see the new professional women's leagues go from strength to strength, we are seeing the benefits society-wide. Girls and young women are finding new heroes to aspire to and are seeing new paths ahead, ones that were not previously available to them. My special congratulations to Deakin student Ezzy Mabigor, who takes to the court for the first time since becoming a WNBA champion with the Seattle Storm in 2020. And sincere congratulations to everyone involved in getting the 2020 WNBL season off the ground. The logistics must have been extremely complex. I can only begin to imagine. But we are greatly looking forward to seeing the action, even if for most of us, it will be from afar. This year has tested us all, our patience, our resilience, and made us focus on our compassion and care for those around us. I'd like to recognise the sacrifices the athletes have made throughout the year. I can only imagine the frustration and challenges for professional athletes to continue your dedication in cramped conditions during lockdowns and restrictions, to keep your conditioning and to perform at your best. All the very best for the 2020 season. Go the Deakin Melbourne Boomers.
Thanks, Ian, and best of luck to you and your team as you continue to navigate the challenging impacts of COVID-19. Well, it's been a particularly busy and complex off-season behind the scenes at the Boomers as the club has repeatedly had to pivot and adapt in what's been an uncertain and ever-changing landscape. Fortunately, and thanks to the hard work of so many behind the scenes, we were able to get a season up and running this summer, which is just so critical to the ongoing growth of the WNBL to not miss a season and risk losing that momentum. Here to get us up to speed with all the latest developments that's been happening around the club is the chair of the Deakin Melbourne Boomers, Tony Hallam.
Welcome everybody, and on behalf of the board and leadership team of the Deakin Melbourne Boomers, welcome in particular to everybody to our season launch for WNBL 2020. Jason, thanks so much for your support, and it's great to have you back again hosting our events. Some things don't change even in these most unusual times, even if it is a slightly different format. Can I start by thanking Ian Martin, the Vice-Chancellor of Deakin University, for your important comments. We greatly value our partnership, long-standing partnership with Deakin University. To the City of Knox, and in particular the Knox City Council, our community relationship with you is very strong and even more important, I think, in these very difficult times. To the Minister of Sport, Martin Pakula, your government support of us has been tremendous and our relationship is very strong, as is your support of women's sport. This is at many levels with us, but perhaps best illustrated by the extended relationship we now have with Latrobe Valley for a further 2 years, along with the support we directly received this year from the Victorian Government Professional Team Support Fund. In this virtual room, there's just so many people who support our club in so many ways, and frankly, we couldn't do what we are able to achieve without you, and I just want to acknowledge a few of them. First of all, it's a really exciting time for us to actually welcome all of our members to this event. It's the first time we've been able to include you in a season launch, and it's terrific from our end to be able to do that. Secondly, I'd like to acknowledge our volunteers. You won't get, unfortunately, to be on court with us and support us at home games, but just know that you're very valuable to us, and we look forward to coming home in 2021 and being back into some sense of normality. Next, I'd like to acknowledge our partners and sponsors who have just been incredibly supportive and incredibly loyal in what have been difficult times for them in the year 2020. Our past players who are a very important part of our heritage, our front office team, our coaching staff and support staff for the basketball operations. And next, in particular, our leadership team, Christy Collier-Hill, Guy Malloy, head coach, and of course, Kayla and Maddie, who are continuing this year as our co-captains of the club. And finally, I want to mention our team of athletes, because they really are the reason we exist, the reason we follow them, the reason we're passionate, the reason we love the Boomers. And we really hope that you have the best of seasons possible as a group of athletes in what will be a very unusual time, a very unusual season in Far North Queensland. And perhaps one last group to mention is there are 21 people who've headed to Far North Queensland to represent our club in Far North Queensland. But there are many people who support them, families, partners, loved ones. We want to thank you on behalf of the club for the work that you're doing, the support you're showing, and the sacrifice you're making in enabling those 21 people to be away for the period of time they are. Before I finish, can I just acknowledge one other group, and that is the community we represent in Melbourne and Victoria. In particular, I'd like to mention the Victorian basketball community. It's just been a really tough year, and that year hasn't finished. And we know from a participation perspective, our clubs and associations who've supported us so well are not back on court, are not playing. We just want you to know that you really are at the forefront of our thoughts. We know we represent you. We hope and trust that we can make you proud as we do this. We hope we can bring you a bit of joy. And there's no doubt we're hoping we can bring home a championship for you from Far North Queensland. Thanks again to everybody for your support. It's been a remarkable few months. It's going to be a really exciting 7 weeks about to start. We can't wait for that first game on Thursday night versus Sydney. We can't wait for the second game back on ABC TV on Saturday afternoon. We hope you enjoy it. We thank you for your support. And of course, go Boomers.
Thanks, Tony, and well done on all the hard work across the winter, which has resulted in us getting away a full season and a broadcast deal that allows us to see every WNBL game live. Well, it's time now to talk some basketball as we switch our focus to our on-court team, and what an exciting team it promises to be. As a club, the Deakin Melbourne Boomers have had a strong focus over the last 12 months to celebrate our amazing heritage. The Boomers, after all, being the oldest elite professional women's sporting team in the entire nation. This year, our squad will be presented with their 2020 singlets by former club champions Gayleen McKay and Larissa Anderson, who still remain involved with the Boomers on a daily basis as the club physio and assistant coach respectively. To make our player introductions and to provide some insight into the coming season, we welcome a man who began his WNBL coaching journey way back in 1989. He's twice been named the WNBL Coach of the Year, as well as enjoying international success with Australia and New Zealand. Please welcome Boomers head coach, Guy Malloy.
Thank you, Jason, and hello to all the wonderful fans and members and sponsors of the Deakin Melbourne Boomers. We're thrilled to have the opportunity to participate in the 2020 Chemist Warehouse WNBL season. More than anything else, after the difficulties the past year has presented with coronavirus, we're thrilled that we're actually getting to go and play. The strength that the Deakin Melbourne Boomers have is our culture, our family values, and the stability of our roster. And in a season where we're unable to play with restricted or imported players, such as wonderful players of past like Lindsay Allen and Sophie Cunningham, we're really looking forward to the work that our returning players, plus some new recruits, will do on the court for the Boomers this season. I would specifically like to congratulate Basketball Australia, the WNBL Commission, the front office and board of the Deakin Melbourne Boomers, and all our sponsors for making this year possible in the most challenging of circumstances. We're really looking forward to our first game on the 12th of November against the Sydney Flames. If you haven't got a membership yet, jump on the website and grab one. We love our members and we really value your support. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the roster that will represent the Deakin Melbourne Boomers in 2020. Guard number 4, Rachel Antoniadou. Rachel previously played for the Dandenong Rangers in the WNBL and currently plays for the Nunawading Spectres in the NBL 1 competition. She's a fierce competitor, a great defender, and we look forward to the energy that she'll bring to the court. Next, I'd like to introduce to you number 6, Rachel Brewster. Rachel is in her second year with the Deakin Melbourne Boomers. She's a fine player of the future and we're looking forward to seeing what she can get done in this hub season. Next, I'd like to introduce number 7, guard Tony Farnworth. Tony is in her second year with the Boomers. She's an international player of long standing with the New Zealand Tall Ferns, and her experience and athleticism will be highly valued by the team. It's my pleasure to introduce a previous captain of the Deakin Melbourne Boomers in number 9, Tess Madgen. Tess has had a wonderful career in the sport. She's played at the highest level in the WNBA and also represented the Opals in the 2018 FIBA Women's World Cup. She's an outstanding competitor. She'll bring so much energy and passion to the Boomers and we're thrilled to have her back at the club. Next, I'd like to introduce number 10, Izzy Wright. Izzy currently plays also with the Nunawading Spectres in the NBL 1 competition, but previously she's played in the WNBL with the Perth Lynx and the Logan Thunder. She's a standout guard who brings great savvy and basketball instincts. She's a wonderful teammate and we're looking forward to her contribution. Number 12, a post player, Penina Davidson. Penina is in her second year with the Deakin Melbourne Boomers, previously played with the Adelaide Lightning in the WNBL and has also been a long-standing member of the New Zealand Tall Ferns in international competition. She's a post player on the rise and her aggressive and athletic play will certainly bolster our front court. Number 13, Ezzy Magbagor. Ezzy is in her third season with the Deakin Melbourne Boomers, and as all our fans and members will know, She's just represented the Seattle Storm to win a WNBA championship. She represented the Opals at the 2018 Women's World Cup, and we're super excited to see Ezzy in action this season on the court. Number 21, a guard, Stella Beck. Stella is in her second season with the Boomers. She had a standout college career with St. Mary's in California. She came to the Boomers last season, and she's a wonderful young player on the rise that we hope great servant for the Boomers for some time to come. Now I'd like to introduce to you number 22, one of our co-captains, Kayla George. Kayla has such a storied career in the game. She's our most experienced player and one of the leading players in the WNBL. She's a 2016 Olympian and twice represented Australia and the Opals in FIBA Women's World Cups in 2014 and 2018. So we're thrilled and lucky to have Kayla in our roster, and I'm sure that she'll lead us to a great season. Now I'd like to introduce to you our other co-captain, number 23, Maddie Garrick. Maddie also has a long and distinguished career in the WNBL. Most of you would also know that she's a star of 3-on-3 basketball in Australia and hopefully headed to the Olympic Games next year. She's also played professionally in Turkey. She's one of the sweetest shooters in the WNBL, and we're hoping that she can lead us to on-court glory this season. Number 32, Kalani Purcell. Kalani is well known to Boomers fans. It's her 4th season at the club. Behind Maddie, she's our longest serving player. Kalani is all energy. Boomers fans will know her as an incredible rebounder, defender, just a hustle player. So she adds all the 1% elements to our game, and she drives winning performance. So we're really looking forward to seeing what she has in store for us. Finally, I'd like to introduce to you another new player to the club, number 47, Ashley Caratiana. Ash comes with wide experience. She is an international player for 2 countries. She's represented Australia at the junior level and represented New Zealand at the senior level. She's a very aggressive defender and rebounder and a very good shooter, and we think that she will go a long way towards helping us replace Sophie Cunningham in our small forward position. So we're very thrilled and excited to have Ash on the roster.
Well, as Guy mentioned, our on-court leaders for 2020 are our returning captains, Kayla George and Maddie Garrick. And here they are to speak on behalf of the playing group.
Hey guys, it's your co-captains here, Kayla George and Maddie Garrick. We are so extremely thankful that we are here prepping for our season this year. Obviously this year's been really uncertain times, but we're super grateful that we are here and we're working hard to put a quality product on the floor for you this season. And we just want to make sure that we don't forget to thank our board members, all the staff behind the scenes that have allowed this to happen, and of course our sponsors. We really are super grateful for you guys jumping back on board this year. We really appreciate your support.
And we obviously wouldn't be here without the support of our fans. I know it's going to be different this year, not being able to play a game in Melbourne, but we are so incredibly thankful for everyone that's bought a membership and continued on that membership, new people who have signed up. And it's fantastic that we can be broadcasted on both ABC and Fox and on KO, so you can catch all of the games on that. But thank you so much again. We are going to miss you incredibly, but we will be sure to be feeling your love and support from back home up here in far north Queensland. Boom up! Woo! Yeah.
Thanks, ladies. Judging from that brief display, I'm sure we're all very much looking forward to seeing your updated repertoire of on-court celebrations this season. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up our formalities this evening. It's time to boom up as we get ready for our season opener on Thursday night. It's coming to you live on KO from 7 p.m. Eastern. And the best way to show your support for the Deakin Melbourne Boomers this season is with a Hub membership, which includes a 2-month KO subscription so you can watch every game of the WNBL season live. It also includes exclusive content, a Boomers merchandise pack, and some special offers for added value. Junior memberships are $30, individual Hub memberships are $60, family memberships $130, and all are available right now via the club website. and our club sponsor 2XU has kindly provided us with a door prize for this virtual function. Our front office team has kept track of everyone who's joined us for this premiere screening. All those names have automatically gone into the prize draw and the winner will be notified shortly. Well, that's it for our season launch. Thanks so much for your company. I'm Jason Bennett, and be sure to tune in for our season opener against the Sydney Uni Flames on Thursday night, and go Boomers.
Yeah,